By the end of this short video, you're going to be able to take your rogue from doing this damage to doing this damage. Now, this is all possible thanks to a few of the buffs that just got released in the latest patch, as well as a little bit of a rework to the build that I had posted a few weeks ago on the Poison Imbuement Rogue. So this fight right here is going to be the end result of all the changes that we made. We're going to go through the setup, the gear. We're going to go through all of the paragons. We're going to go through the skills, and then we're going to show you the fight and explain exactly what I'm doing at each stage so that you can replicate this yourself. You can go and you can take it and you can tweak the build a little and let us know what you do and what you like, and then also explain a little bit of the variant for what we can do with this build in Nightmare Dungeons, since Nightmare Dungeons just got a huge buff. The damage from this build is so insane. It's going to be great in Nightmare Dungeons. It's going to be great in your bosses, Uber Lilith, world bosses. It's just going to absolutely annihilate them. And you can see it is so strong, we actually break the Lilith fight. So well, I can go into more detail for how I guess the fight is being broken, but here you can see some of the footage. Essentially, it is so much damage and so much CC and stagger that Lilith cannot do a single thing to us. So it ends up trivializing the fight. And if you've been trying to get this fight down on Rogue and you want to see some of what I did and what I used in order to beat the fight, you can see that here. Here we're just ending the fight. And this is when we finally get Uber Lilith down post-patch with all of the changes to the build and what that entails. So here we're going to go over exactly what the gear is that we're using, and I'll review which are the the most important stats and aspects for each of the items. So we're going to start off at the weapon. We've got the corruption aspect on a crossbow. Crossbow gives us good damage. We're looking for vulnerable, crit damage, dexterity, those sorts. Penitent Greaves, these are actually for the chilling effect, so we're doing a ton of stagger, and it's really important to stack as much stagger as you can for this fight, and that's what makes the end of the fight actually pretty trivial, because you're staggering Lilith so much that she literally cannot attack you. So if you want revenge for all the times you've been CC'd in a dungeon to death, this is how you do it. This is the build for it. In addition, we have some crowd control duration, movement speed, just good boots in general. They're good for general farming as well. Pants, we're using the Umbris Primal aspect. This is giving us just free dark shrouds, and you can see that we're using our marksman ability, which is our puncture, quite often in the fight. I'm going to go over like the rotation of how we do the fight at the end. Fists of Fate, this is another extremely important item, and this is just going to give us a ton of CC on lucky hit. So lucky hit's going to be really important. We're going to be stacking that stat. Disobedience, this is just for some armor. We've got Mangler's aspect. This is again more CC. This is dazing the enemy, and daze is going to add significantly to our stagger bar. Accelerating, this is going to give us really fast attacks so that we can stagger and damage more. Intercom, for every second we stand still, we do more damage. Most of the time when we're doing our DPS phase, we're standing completely still, so this is going to give us a 30% damage increase. We've got Bursting Venoms. This is, again, how we do so much damage. When we're in our DPS phase and we have the pull down, we're able to constantly spam Poison Imbue. For stats here, you're looking for Lucky Hit, Crit, Vulnerable, Crit damage. I've got the same stats on both rings. For weapons, we have Ashira's. This is going to be just a significant amount of attack speed, which is going to help with all those things that we mentioned. And then Blade Dancers, this is so we can get our twisting blades to spin around us and do a whole lot of damage. So those are our gear items. Combo points is what we're using. So we switch on Fists of Fate, which give us a ton of resource regen. And the combo points is actually going to be more damage than Inner Sight because we basically always have enough resource up to use Twisting Blades. So we no longer really need Inner Sight. We're not using Edge Master. Combo points is what we decided to go with in order to get more damage. So combo points is really great. For skills here, I'm going to just go through the skill tree. Puncture is our resource generator. Twisting Blades is how we apply our Poison Imbue. You can see we have Shadow Step, and that's going to be for some CC. And we're picking up all the damage nodes that we can. There's our Poison Imbue, very important. And all the lucky hit chance that we can get there. Also, close quarters combat. So this received a significant 50% buff thanks to the patch, which is really setting the damage through the roof on the rogue build. So and here I'm going to go through my Paragon board. Here you can see which glyphs I'm using, and I hover over the legendary nodes so that you are able to tell which board I am using for each one. So these are the most important glyphs, I believe, for the build. I've heard other people using, like efficacy, and I think there's a lot of merit to those too. We've been theory crafting this build a lot in the Discord, so shout outs to Neil and Spets and Stream, and we've this is I guess the final version of that build. And the damage is just nutty. We're reaching upwards of 15 million DPS at certain parts, and we were able to get the fight, and we got the mount. So if you want to see what the reward for the Uber Lilith fight is, I'm going to show it right now. And if you are still not able to down Uber Lilith, at this point, I'm going to be, for my next streams, I'm going to be trying to carry the fight for our subscribers to the channel and to the YouTube channel, and then anyone who's following on Twitch. We're going to be trying to do carries for this fight now that, we've got it down to a science, and that's it. So there's the mount that you get, and now we're just going to review the fight, and I'm going to explain exactly what's going on during it. So we start off, we approach, we're just going to lay down a poison trap. Here, we're actually not trying to deal damage. We're just trying to build up the stagger bar. So I'm essentially only left clicking. I throw in a few twisting blades just to get my accelerating aspect online, but I'm not using poison imbuement. Once you use poison imbuement is when all the damage is going to come. So you can see once I get the stagger bar to around 50%, I start to use poison imbuement, and that's when all the damage comes. I'm trying to time my stagger bar before she spawns the first waves, and you see I do that here. Once she is staggered, you are able to do enough damage to completely wipe out her entire life bar before any of the mechanics even spawn. Immediately after that, you're going to want to place down as many traps as you can. And now again, this is going to be for CC. So we want to completely stagger the second phase of Lilith before she's able to get any blood boils out. So you can see here I immediately Shadow Step, and now I go into DPS, and I'm just attacking constantly. So I have a lucky hit potion, which is helping proc all of our CC mods on like Fist of Fate and everything. So you can see how quickly that stagger bar fills up. Now at this point, the fight is basically in the bag. It's yours. Enjoy your steed. All you got to do is dodge some of the very, very basic mechanics. You don't have the blood boils up, so just go to each side. Don't get hit by this stage blood wave. That will still kill you. It's about the only thing that can be of a risk to you right now. So here you want to try to build up the stagger bar a little as she's running around and doing these the rest of her sequence. because it's not really too risky, so you can get a bunch of hits in, and you see how quick the stagger bar fills up. So you get the stagger bar to about 80%, and then you can just stagger her right towards the end, and if there's any life left, you just finish her off, and that's it. So I'm really happy with the end result of the build. I hope that you guys are able to replicate this or make it your own. And then if you have any feedback to share, I'd appreciate it in the comments. So if you like it, if you don't like it, if you think we could do something different, I'm not gonna say it's 100% perfect. There's always room for improvement, but that's why we do this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.